Welcome to this episode on eligibility. This video is made for people who don't really know whether they are eligible to apply for BTO or not. So these are your students, your fresh grads, or whoever's unemployed and you don't know whether not having this 12 months of continuous income still makes you eligible for BTO. For those of you who are only here for a short while, TLDW, if you are a Singapore citizen, you're above 21, your monthly combined income is less than $14,000, you don't own any private properties. Fifth, if you are a first timer or second timer, you probably can apply for BTO. However, if you really are not sure whether or not because your case is slightly more complicated, continue to watch this video and I'll help you find out more. Actually, there's a way for you to know whether you're eligible through this online application, and I'll help you run through the whole process of checking your eligibility right after this. So you just go to Google, you can search HDB Eligibility Check, then you go for the first link. Just click the first link and it will bring you to this page here. Once you're ready to move on, press accept. This is the first page. You have to put in a bit of your personal details, so try to put it as accurately as possible. If you're not married, you just put it as single. Put your gender. You have to be above 21. This is important. If you're a student, you apply as unemployed. If you're already working, employed. If you're self-employed, self-employed. So it's quite straightforward. And citizenship, you also can edit here, whether you're a Singapore citizen or PR. So you notice there's only one, right? This is the main applicant. And if you need to add in perhaps your girlfriend or your boyfriend or someone else, just add it here. Then you'll have another one right here. Applicant type, there's co-applicant and occupier. Each of these has different rights that's attached to it, but for now, simplicity's sake, I'll just put co-applicant. For occupier, I'll probably explain it in a later episode. So same thing, if you're applying under fiancé scheme, you just put it as single first, put the opposite gender, age. Because you're not married to the person yet, relationship to the main applicant, you put it as fiancé scheme. Okay, employment status, just follow through, Singapore citizen. Now you see that you fill this part fully already, you just press continue and you'll move on to the next part. I'm just going to put 1000 for everyone for a simple calculation later. So once you're done, press continue and they're going to ask about 8 questions, and I'm going to go through each of these questions so that you have a better idea of what they are trying to ask. First question is about whether you, your co-applicants or occupiers own a private residential property. Do you have any private properties under your name right now? If you have private properties under your name, you cannot apply for BTO, alright? So just answer the question. Question 2 is a similar question, only instead of owning, it's about disposal, which means whether you sold it or you got rid of it within the past 30 months. If yes, you can't apply for BTO. If no, you can. Alright, so just move on. So this is about your first timer or second timer status, whether you bought a HDB flat bought directly from HDB, which is in other words a BTO, or a resale flat bought with CPF housing grant. So both of these are subsidized flats, and it's important for you to know whether you have already bought a subsidized flat. For every Singaporean out there, you can only get a subsidized flat twice in your life. You can only be a first timer or a second timer. This is about an owner or essential occupier of a resale flat bought from open market. You can only own one HDB at one particular time. You cannot own 2 HDBs at one time, just to take note. So if you want to own multiple properties, it's not possible for you to own multiple HDBs. This is about selling the flat, so this may be considering your levy. So if you already bought a subsidized flat and you're going to buy your second subsidized flat, means you're a second timer, you have to pay a resale levy. Question 8. This is very important because this helps you know whether or not for BTO you are eligible for the enhanced CPF housing grant, because you have to be in continuous employment for the past 12 months. So this doesn't matter whether you are employed or self-employed as long as you are in continuous employment for the past 12 months. If you have, press yes. Then if you remember just now, I put 1000 for everyone. So the average monthly household income for the past 12 months will be 2000. because 1,000 for applicant 1 and another 1,000 for applicant 2. Alright, so this is very important for the grants, just for you to know how much grants you'll be eligible for. This one is not as important, you can just put anything. Okay, so this is about eligibility to apply for HDB housing loan. For now, we'll be focusing more on the whole HDB BTO part, so this one I'll just put no thanks first. Then they bring it to the results. This is not exactly 100% accurate because it's just based on the answers to the questions that they asked previously. So for first timer, you can see that you'll be eligible for a grant. So you see it here. You may be considered for enhanced CPF housing grant up to 75k. The reason why it's 75 and not 80k is because it's $2,000. So this amount will change according to the income that you put in question 8, if you remember. It's as simple as that. So once you know that you're eligible, it's much easier for you. You have more confidence for you to know and apply. Alright, it's that simple. I hope that this has been helpful for you. In my next video, I'll be talking about how students can maximize the amount of grants that they can get, or even get the grant in the first place. If you like this video, give me a like, follow me on Instagram, and if you found this video to be useful, share it with your friends, and thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.